It is both. It's definitely both. There are technical aspects to negotiations, contractual aspects that are probably more into the science. My own personal bit and what I've been teaching on this course is more in the art of negotiations. In many ways, these are the sort of communication skills that government officials need in all sorts of circumstances. How do you convince somebody else of something? How can you be sure you understand what they're telling you? How can you be sure they understand what you're trying to tell them? And how does the interaction between the two parties work? Ideally, in a negotiation, you want both parties to be happy at the end of the day. But especially you want to be able to ensure that you've got the right personal skills to practice the artistic side, I suppose, or the bit that I would call the art of negotiations is what we've been concentrating on. There are many things. I think probably the power of listening is one of the things. Is, in other words, not just listening to what the person is saying, but listening and understanding where they're coming from. There's a lovely quote from Nelson Mandela says is that if you speak a man's language, you will speak to his head, but if you actually speak his language, you'll speak to his heart. So it is actually meaning if you can put yourself in the other person's shoes and come from their point of view and see things from their point of view, you will be a much more effective negotiator. And these are many of the skills that we've been working on. There are other things as well, but I think if you want to really boil it down, it's getting that ability to understand, see where the other person is coming from, start from their point of view and gradually take them over to your point of view. I think the biggest it's going back to what I was saying earlier, is try to put yourself in the other person's position. Try to see things from their perspective and then try to gradually take them over to yours. If you try to push people, you won't succeed. If you try to only stick to your own position and you don't try to understand the others, you don't treat the others with respect, you will never get through. So it's always a bit of a compromise, but I think it's better to take people with you rather than trying to push them in a direction. And it takes skill, and it takes patience, and it takes understanding other points of view. Well, in government, we're negotiating every single day, whether it's negotiating big or small contracts, whether it's negotiating between different groups of people who have different ideas. It is really an essential skill for someone in government. Obviously, if we're looking at the Ministry of Energy and Minerals, there are very big, expensive and valuable contracts that are being done, negotiations with people of other cultures. We need to make sure that the individuals who are conducting these negotiations have got the best possible skills. And I think maybe it is something that can also help in everyday life as well, because whether we're negotiating with our children or our friends, we're always doing this as human beings. So they are skills that are actually very good for everyone.